shall deceive. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sounds of arms, fierce morality. Nightfall, the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Sail war. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
Welcome everyone to Valhalla Esports Week 5. Doing some live games tonight. I'm joined by Blitzkrieg Pyro. How are you doing tonight?
Got a little bit of a echo feedback situation here, and we'll work on that. But doing all right.
Yes, we are actually streaming from the same room, so might have to deal with it for a little bit. You have your stream muted? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll deal with it as it is. We're gonna be doing the games with the Ultralords versus Rolling Stoners. They're doing their draft for game 1, so we'll hop into the draft as they're getting into game 1. Alright, so Ultralords have the blue side, Rolling Stones are on the red side. Looking like the Zack Amumu Jarvan got banned from Ultralords. The Cassio, Azir, Talia got banned from the Rolling Stoners. And we picked up the Mayo Kaisa Lee Sin for Ultralords, the Ezreal Rise Rammus, so Cladan finally bringing out his patented Rammus for the actual games. Didn't get all the green junglers banned from him this time. And then Ultralords banning away Morden Jax, Rolling Stoners taking out Nico and Victor. And now we've got Rakan, Lux, and Cassante Varus to fill out the team comps. So as far as the Rolling Stoner side, they've got a fair amount of engage on the Rakan, the Lux. Rammus obviously ready to run in at any time, and then a lot of scaling on that Ezreal Rise. Ultralords looking to have that Mayo Cassante tank frontline and hoping that Kaisa and Varus are able to do the damage they need in this game. But should be an interesting matchup. I'm assuming that's the Mayoka support against the Lux. How do you feel about that bot lane?
I think it's against the Rakan, and it's definitely they definitely want to go in and jump on each other. So yeah, it's a rise top. I think is what we're seeing there. Other Rolling Stoners with the Lux mid. So it's definitely an interesting comp. You got 280 carries on Ultra Lords with the Virus, which I assume is going AP against that Rammus. And but that bot lane. So yeah, the Kaisa Maokai versus the Ezreal Rakan is kind of interesting. The Rakan wants to go in, you get probably a lot of CC, but the the Ezreal's kind of sitting there wanting to poke. But yes, for overall, the team CC is pretty strong with the Rakan and the Rammus. They get on top of you. You're not moving anywhere for a while.
Yeah, that's very true. I did miss Lurkon, you're right. I agree that the engage I think is a lot better for Rolling Stoners, but if Ultra Lords can play safe, they might have the scaling on their side other than the Rise. So it should be an interesting game as they get into it.
If that Lee Sin can get the Cassante the lead early against the Rise, could put Rise in trouble with the ability of the Cassante just to get on top of him, not let him play the game. That'll be an interesting poke matchup in the mid too. We're just gonna kind of poke at each other for a while, see what the junglers can do to get on top of them.
For sure. Lee Sin definitely looking for those early ganks, likes to hit those Qs, go for early kills. Rammus looking a little more to scale, but still gets that taunt early and can affect those early fights.
I think what we might have to do.
But for this game one, I think I would favor the Rolling Stoners comp. I'm gonna believe in the Cladan Rammus. He hasn't pulled it out yet, but I know he loves that champion. So I'm gonna hope he can find some team fights along with the Rise and Lux follow-up engage. I'm thinking Ultra Lords kind of need to win their lanes to have some agency in this game as far as getting to the late game team comps.
Yeah, I don't see any obvious what I would call obvious advantages early on. A lot of scaling in those lanes. So I was really thinking it'd be the jungler impact. Try to get their laners ahead, making big plays.
Yeah,
I
definitely
do like the
agree.
Maokai. I'm a sucker for the Maokai pick support. It's hard to get on top of that Ezreal, and the Rakan's very slippery, but you can get on somebody, lock them down. Maybe if they make a roam mid, especially once it gets ult level 6, has a lot of power to lock some of these more mobile top and mid lane characters down.
Yeah, definitely. Got that easy point and click W. Get the ultimate right after you land on someone. For the Maokai, you just got to get in range to make it go off. I'm a little bit worried. It looks like it's a Rise versus Cassante top. Cassante is a little bit counterable. We'll have to see how Zabel plays it. But if the Rise is able to just bully him in lane, I'm worried it might be a case of Cassante not being able to do much this game. But
Is that the Ultra Lord's actual lineup?
let me see. As we get in the game, I'll double check.
Yeah, I just thought their Zabel was the jungler. He's playing top today.
He had been originally. He had moved to jungle lately. I know I saw a couple of pings for needing a sub, so they might have gotten one. I think Golden Pharaoh is just subbing for them for support. I think everyone else is in their roles for Ultra Lords, and it looks like Rolling Stoners have all 5.
Gotcha. Yeah, thanks for double checking that.
But here we go into the game. Let's see if anyone wants to look for any cheeky invades. Not seeing anything obvious to call it an invade. Maybe if you had the Rakan knockup or a Lux binding, but not necessarily one you'd want to start on those champions. And looking like they're setting up for a 5-point on both sides, so it should be a pretty standard start.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, the W is fine on Rakan, but yeah, most Luxes like to go E to poke and be able to clear their waves.
I'm a little interested. I think the most interesting lane to me right now is Kazuto on the Varus. I'm assuming going for a pretty heavy AP build. It just got slightly nerfed, but it still does a lot of damage against boosted Lux. A fairly safe champion, can set up for the team fairly well, but gotta see how they play into each other with kind of a double poke comp in the 1v1. Let me see, Katsuto finding a couple early autos, getting a little bit of a lead, but nothing too crazy so far. They'll get their abilities up, and we'll see how this lane plays out. Here we see Bonkers playing that Rise. Bonkers have been liking a lot of, I'd say, non-standard top picks. Rise definitely not bad, especially if you're into a matchup you want to fight into. But Bonkers definitely won, picking a lot of champions you wouldn't normally see currently in the top lane. No one really pushing. Oh, is there a pause? Hello? Oh, sorry about that. Not really a lot of pushing for the level 2. A lot of times in bot you see each bot lane trying to rush for that level 2. Kind of this game, both teams happy to wait and kill minions as they get low. Ram is looking for the gank mid, forcing out the flash. Flashes back onto Kazuko, gets the taunt. There is not a binding follow-up from Lux so far. The Q from Lee Sin lands on the Rammus. If it had hit Lux, it could have been a kill. Sorry, apparently the game's being a little laggy right now, but we're having it work out. But forcing out the flash from the Rammus gank for his flash. Lee Sin going for the kill on Lux, got too deep, had to flash out from the binding. And now Rise trying to run down Zabel's Cassante, dodges the Q, will not get the extra damage. Now Zabel's trying to run for his life as he gets slowed. Flashes away from the Q. Bonkers is out of mana, but so is Zabel, so we'll see if he dies to autos. He does survive, so good escape there from Zabel. Now
Everybody hitting level 3 wanting to fight.
True. Cledan looking for a gank in the bot lane. Didn't have the flash that time, so Maoke able to walk away without any hassle. Now Lee was looking top, wasn't able to find Rise. Now he's going back to his topside jungle as Rammus clears his blue.
But yeah, Golden Pharaoh bot lane more than willing to just take it slow, keep playing even, wait for ganks and support.
Here we have Rakan jumping in, getting a little bit of a chunk there with Ezreal onto the Maokai. Nothing too bad though. And shout out to Golden Pharaoh. He's more of a top main, but filling in for the Ultra Lords and the support role so far, doing a good job. Now we've got Cassante engaging onto the rise. The Lee Sin is here. He has the knockback, hits the Q on Lee, and should pick up first blood. Gives it over to Zabel, and that will be a very good start for this Cassante in the top lane. Gonna need that gold to make sure you stay relevant in this lane against a ranged opponent.
Yeah, good job there getting the advantage there. That's what we need to do. The Cassante can get ahead, potentially delay the scaling of the rise. Let the rest of the team continue to gain ground. In bot lane though, waiting for the opportune moments, waiting for an overstep. Going Pharaoh, like I was trying to say earlier, he was taking the E on level 2, so more than willing to just kind of play the lane slow, not let anything crazy happen, and just scale into the game.
Here we see Cladan going for the regank on Kazuto, knows that flashes down, and the Rakan shows up as well, giving over the first kill on Rolling Stoner's side to Boosted Sandwich on the Lux. A good regank there from Cladan, having forced the flash earlier, and Worthy Dust roaming with his jungler to pick up that kill. Yeah, definitely a smart roam there from Worthy Dust. You're kind of in a bot lane where you have the Kai'Sa and the Ezreal. They're both essentially showing they're looking to just scale into the late game, so there's not a lot of fights going on. So if you can make anything happen mid, it'll be big for your mid laners in this game.
Absolutely. Creating the extra pressure on the map, getting out there, especially in a very safe Ezreal. I'm not going to have a lot of chance to get on top of them.
Of course it feels ADC regardless of lane. The ADC will feel ADC in any lane. You know how League goes. Both supports coming back to the bot lane. We'll see if they want to fight yet, but I'm assuming both are looking to wait at least until level 6. Looks like Kazuto is roaming on this Varus, looking for the rise top with the Cassante. We'll see if they can pick anything up here. Gets the ult onto Cassante. The rise is trying to ult away, but gets taken down by Kazuto's Varus before he can actually teleport. Now with the push, Rise of Dusk ults with the Ezreal to just force the wave under tower as Rammus is ready for Dragon. Hoping to pick this up, but Lee Sin is in the area, so there may be a fight over this objective. So far, they're trying to scare Cladan off. They've got him to about half health, but it is a 4v3 currently. Kazuto has not moved from the mid lane yet. And a good block there by Rakan takes the Lee Sin Q and runs away. So then Lee Sin can't Q into the pit to steal, and Rammus picks up the dragon. Well played there, Worthy Dust.
So Kazuto is even on that kill, and he's up 13 farm right now. So definitely needs to start controlling that fight. Need to keep scaling, need to get that minion advantage.
Good dodge there by Kuro to avoid the Rakan knockup. Gets a little bit of a trade back on the Ezreal. Gets pretty much an even trade. Rammus is looking for this lane gank. We'll see if they get caught out. Rolling in with the Powerball. Currently gets flashed on by Worthy Dust, but is able to flash out on the Kai'Sa. Now Maokai may be stuck due to the taunt. Flashes away, but gets picked up by the Ezreal Q. Well played to the Rolling Stoners to pick up that kill in the bot lane. Ezreal ults, but does not kill Kuro on the Kai'Sa. Gets her very low though.
Does delay that back.
Delays the back, gets her low, potentially gonna pick up this plate.
Port might give solo gold here. But looks like the boats didn't take the back.
Looking like they want the back. I feel like if they had autoed it, like, even just 4 to 5 times each, they get a free plate. The minions might just take it, but we'll see. Well, Zabel taking a little bit of damage, but has that demolish, so is able to pick up a second plate in the top lane. And we see in the bot lane it went from 5 to 4. The plate did fall, but no one was around to pick it up. So a little bit of lost gold on the side of Rolling Stoners for the bot lane, but they did just have that 2v2 win, so they're still feeling okay.
Could we get a gold check in this minute, please?
Yeah, we can do a gold check. X, but yeah. Looking like Cassante actually having a 1k gold lead in the top. Pretty even in the jungle, fairly even mid, and pretty much identical in the bot lane. So basically the gold lead is in the top lane currently.
Able to take advantage of that early kill, keep that lane pressure, looks like.
Yep, got the kill, got the
Couple
Varus
plates.
roam, and got the kill. Plus plates, you're correct. And reaping the benefits currently of Cassante. Definitely where you want to lead, so you can keep pressure on this Ryze and not let him free farm into late game. Ryze scales like a monster for sure. Here he's trying to TP out, gets stunned by the Cassante W, gets ulted, and Lee Sin is here to help pick up this kill. Unless if Bonkers plays out of his mind, he should die here without picking up a trade kill. And Zabel picks it up once again. Now in the mid lane, flash up from Kazuto. Kladan had taunted him up. Boosted tried to ult off the taunt, but was able to dodge that damage. Trades back a little bit with the Q.
Also, the Rift Herald now released top, so it's going to be a lot of damage on that top tower, if not the whole top tower.
At least 2 more plates. Might be
TP is on
close.
Bonkers.
Bonkers does TP, and that plate, that top tower is down to 1 plate. So if they get another successful gank, that tower will go down. Gludan here looking for the bot lane. So far, Ultra Lords are playing fairly safe. He's looking for the Maokai, gets the knock up with the Q, but Mayo should fall. Falls to the Ezreal, but Kai'Sa is still alive under tower. Zolmorin wanting that kill onto the Ryze to pick up this first tower. Doesn't find it yet, he was a little too far under. Zabel's back in to spend all that gold he has. So far, Ultra is maintaining that 1.5 gold lead. They get him the TP in from Zabel, just spend his money trying to pick up this Ryze and pick up this tower. Lux is roamed up with boosted, and he ults him. Oh! A little unfortunate play there from Ultra Lords. The Lee kick actually pushes Ryze to safety, and then he's able to flash back towards his tower. And get another one of these random pauses.
Yeah, I would have expected that kick to either try to put him under tower, still get away from him, still get some damage out. Just not on the same page with Zabel.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's he didn't really need the kick right there. He was so far into the lane. It could have been to hold your ult till he's trying to flash away. But I think he was trying to get him back near Zabel so he could kill him real quick, but ended up working against him. And now Rammus looking for this dragon with the Rakan and Ezreal. Lee Sin jumped in looking for the steal, didn't get the dragon quite low enough, got taunted up and got taken out before Kladan secures that objective. Now it's 2 dragons to 0, but maintaining that 2k gold lead for the Ultra Lords currently. So as a support, if you're in one of these lanes where your AD just kind of wants to scale, you're not really fighting that much in lane, how do you try to play it? Do you look for the roams, or what do you like to do?
It depends on how safe your AD carry is going to be, and so again, if you're getting the team names, but if you're Worthy Dust, I would definitely be looking for the roams. That Ezreal's going to be very safe. As long as you can keep eyes on the Maokai, there's not much threat to jump on him. He does have probably a 300 gold lead. So should be able to play pretty safe, keep the waves pushed back, not have a big worry about being pushed in her tower. And then Maokai, kind of similar. I mean, there's more of a threat with Rakan there to jump in on the Kaisa. But at the same time, you can be making a lot of plays on this map with, like I said, the Immobile, Lux, and the Rise. Just getting that harsh CC.
So we got the Rabbits jumping in bot lane, looking for this 3v3 since Lee Sin was in the area. Also got the TP up from Kazuto. Boosted trying to run down, but now Rakan actually ulting to slow down the fight and get them all out. Now the re-engage coming from Quadan, coming onto the Lee Sin and the Varus. The ult coming down, they take out Maokai. So far everyone else is still alive.
As a Maokai enthusiast, I would have liked to see the Maokai ult come out a lot sooner. Try to get some lockdown. It's more effective the farther you are away. Just split up and stagger that team fight a little bit. Might be able to focus down a target as a team when doing a 4v3.
Yeah, definitely could have been one where as soon as you hit a W, you just ult, you know. I hit the W, and now Cassante going in the top lane trying to fight Boosted. He is alone this time. Boosted has the phase rush trying to run him down. He's trying to apply that pressure and fight him off while he protects his tower, and the Rolling Stoners will pick up tower number 1 in the bot lane.
Yeah, Bonker's doing a good job top lane. Got his item, starting to scale, starting to get in the game, not that far behind the farm. Yeah, he's down the 2 kills, but still a rise, still scaling up there.
Yeah, Bonkers understanding the assignment. I am Rise. I may get ganked and die, but I'm still a Rise. I'm just scaling. And now it looks like Bonkers and Quadan looking at this Rift Herald. The Lee Sin is around with the Kazuto once again, but it will be currently a 4v2 with the Lux and Rakan roaming up. And looking like they just want to give this objective.
Yep, Rolling Stoners all over the timer, setting everybody for it. Ultra squad trying to respond.
Yep, good idea from them. They rolled in to look for the counter, but they walked away smartly, but still getting engaged on by Kazuto, putting out that taunt down. Golden Pharaoh's getting killed by the Ezreal as he ults, and now they have an ult, so they have a 5-man mid for the Stoners as they picked up the pick and will be looking for this mid tower.
Rolling Stoners looking good here, definitely on the same page, trying to communicate what they're going to do with it, creating the pressure, and preventing the division and the capability to even respond right now.
Yep. Got a good chunk off from the Rift, got taken out by the enemy, but they still have numbers here, so they will take down this mid tower as well, putting themselves at 2 towers to 0. And for the Ultra Lords, they're still trying to get some items on their carries. They definitely want to get a lot of gold onto Varus and Kaisa, get about 3 items on each of them to feel scary. So they're just looking to slow this game down, try to scale up into it with them, and keep Bonkers from getting too big, or any of the Lux or Ezreal carries from getting unkillable. Here we see Zabel trying to ult onto Bonkers once again, has the Frozen Fist, is able to take out the Rise, who was unable to proc the phase rush. Well played top lane, and should be able to take that top tower.
And Rolling Stoners doing a good job not being too greedy, just taking that first mid tower, resetting, and getting ready to take drag. Going in as a team, same group, not overextending, and trying to fall back and take it, make sure they get the division control.
Yep, now they've grouped up, they're looking for this 3rd dragon to put themselves on soul point. Zabel is backing. This might have been a point where he should have kept pushing just to try to get that pressure in the top lane, since he should know he won't get to the dragon in time with them already on it. Nice pick there on the Maokai from the Rolling Stoners, and jumping in on the Kaisa, not able to pick her up, but definitely looking for the kills after the play.
Yeah, the Maokai trying to get some vision out there, responding, but just with the push mid lane and not being able to rotate over sooner. Again, that vision is critical, being able to get there first and set up. Definitely generated that pick.
Yeah, I get Meerkat looking for the vision, but taken out for trying to help his team. Kazuto landing the ult on Lux, but unable to get the kill onto Boosted. Gets ulted in return, and they both lose about 2/3 of their health bar.
He's down a few kills, but does have a 50 gold lead there for the mid lane matchup. Items are about equal, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, if the Lux can get away with that in the future.
Alright. Kazuto going the Static Shiv for the AP Varus. Still a fairly strong item, but they did gut a lot of the AP ratios. So building Static Shiv on a full AP champ is not as ideal as it was last patch. But I think he'll need essentially to finish this current item, which would give him a fair amount of power, and probably a third item after that to start actually one-shotting people as the AP Varus likes to do. Here we see Bonkers still maintaining his farm in this top lane, despite having died 4 times, is still 10 CS up on the Cassante currently. So says, you can kill me all you want, I'm gonna keep farming.
Yeah, is it 7 minutes on Bonkers item in his mythic?
Yeah, the rod. He got 7 minutes on it, 3 more for it to be fully stacked. Very good item on the rise, just gives him free stats and a lot of healing from just using spells. A lot of what makes Rise very annoying in the late game. Just one of those champs Riot's never really figured out how to make them make sense.
Yeah, I gotcha. So yeah, so he's still scaling passively, still getting farm from the gold. Let's see if Ultra Lords can get some vision and know that they're doing this Baron, kind of moving up towards it, but I don't think they know that they're trying to burn this down right now. Looks like they're going for the pick on Rise.
Yep, Zay will jump on the Rise, trying to get the kill here. I agree. I think just from that control ward being on the Baron, Ultra Lords had the ward on it, and they've kind of forgotten we don't see it currently, and they do lose that Baron. Also get picked on the Kaisa right after the Baron falls, so just a little bit of a lax in vision on their side, and the Rolling Stoners take advantage of that.
Absolutely, I mean that's big. The Rolling Stones should be back. They're going to push out some of these waves. So we got Dragon coming up in 1 minute and 16 seconds, and that's going to be Soul. So again, I'm looking for them to start getting some vision out and keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they're the first to all these objectives. They're getting the vision and dictate the game, staying one step ahead. It's not a big gold difference in the game. 4 kills. It's only 2k gold lead, but that extra padding of those 3 dragons about to hit Soul. While not like the strongest Soul right now in this current meta, it's still better than having 0 drags.
True that. So we'll take the weakest dragon if we get all 4 in a row. It's still good to have the Soul. They're also just, as you said, the kills went into the lane where the scaling was basically always going the way of Rolling Stoners anyways, where Cassante's 3-0 to the 0-4 of the Rise, but just from farming, Bonkers is being as useful, if not more useful right now than the Cassante. And now we see them 5-manning bot lane. Cassante is trying to push that top tower. Setting up for the soul point should be fairly free for them. They can pull it out if they want to make sure there's no 50-50 smite. But either way, I believe Rolling Stoners will pick this up. Lee Sin's looking for that Q to try and steal it. We'll hit it on the Recon, and once again, Worthy Dust being very smart, takes the Q and runs away from the objective, so there's no steal opportunity. And then Rise even TP's back top to prevent the objective falling on the tower as they pick up Soul Point. Now we we see Zabel jumping onto Bonkers once again. The phase rush procs, he just runs away, doesn't get knocked up. And as long as Rise isn't allowing Cassante to auto attack him and kill him, it's not really a big deal for him still, despite being down 3 kills.
Kazuto blast coning in onto the Ramus.
I'm jumping in, trying to be able to clear the wave, but just running into someone who's going to CC him. Are they letting the Baron minion do its work? Got that cannon taking down the tier 2 in the mid. That'll fall to the Ramus auto attack. Cladan says, I don't have any kills, but I can take out a tower. And now, once again, pressuring as the Baron buff will fall, but getting a little bit of damage on this mid tower. Meanwhile, Bonkers still pressuring top. Is not
It looks like he's close now.
Yeah, he's very comfortable in this lane right now. He might have died a couple times to the ganks, but just feeling it. Knows if he's 1v1, there's essentially no way he can die currently. And he has now fully stacked that Rod of Ages, so got the full free scaling from building his Mythic, and is looking for, I believe, a Death Cap, though it might be a different item with the Rod, not 100% sure. We'll take the tier 2 top as he walks away from Cassante, procs phase rush, and is out safely.
He's farming so well, he's got the 200 gold bounty.
Yeah, 0-4 with the 200 gold bounty, imagine. Getting a taunt down on the Maokai, gets a little bit of poke, but the carries are looking at this tier 2 in the bot lane. They've now dropped all 6 towers except for the base towers. Have to flash away from Zolmorn, gets the Varus ult onto the Ramus, but isn't able to follow up with all that much damage from the Varus. Getting the CC onto Ramus. Sante trying to jump on. Gets the Q-in slash ult onto the Lux to pick up that kill, but Lee Sin falls for jumping in, and now they're trying to take out the Ramus as he gets knocked in by the Cassante ult. He will fall, but it's still just a 1 for 2 overall, and they need to protect their towers as the bot lane falls to minions and Bonkers split push. And he will ult out to ensure his safety. Got a 2 for 1 in the 5v4, and they lost the tower, so still very rough currently for the Ultra Lords. They need to find a lot of decisive picks if they want to find a way back into this game. They gotta get picks, get a couple of team fight wins, and drop a lot of objectives if they don't want to get outscaled. And now Bonkers finishes that death cap, has a lot of power on that Rise currently.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see, again, Cassante still did a good job going in there, or, taking care of the kills when Zolmorn went in there. Would like to see him kind of go for a flank position, try to get in on them, on top of them, especially when you have the Maokai ult in the pocket to help chase them down. Again, kind of coming up behind the play. So just try to take better advantage of some of the positioning to move around. The TPs are valuable right now and they're being used. Gotta try to make those picks when you can. Again, we're coming up with another Baron right here. We'll see if they take this immediately or they wait to trap them here. Especially if they're gonna.
It's looking like if, as they are, Rolling Stones just rush it. There's no TP on Sable. They just don't have the people to fight them, and they pick up that Baron for free. Well played, Rolling Stones. Now they're speeding in, have Ramus jumping onto Golden Pharaoh's Maokai, just saying, hey, we caught somebody, let's fight. Gets a charm down on the Lee Sin, gets a knockup, and dies to the Rise as well. Zabel's trying to split push the bot lane, but right now if they just 5-man mid, Rolling Stones will end this game. And Bonkers, proccing the phase rush, gets the root onto the Kaisa under tower and takes out Kuro. I don't think Rolling Stones need the back at all. Bonkers could have stayed with them, they could have easily finished this game. Now he's actually TPing back to the mid lane. But he was there just in case Zabel was able to keep that split push going. And now they're walking in 5v3 currently. looking for the towers, but if they just play it slow, take towers and take the fights if they're away from the base towers, this should be the end. Gets the root onto the Lee Sin, falls as they're trying to burst out the Rise, cannot take him down. Now Zabel is taunted, rooted, getting ulted by Rammus, trying to walk away, has a little bit of health, he will survive, but now Kuro is the objective. Take out another inhib, and looks like Rolling Stoners will accept they don't end here, but take a base tower, take an inhib. Ezreal not able to join the party to ult out, but still will be safe.
9 seconds on drag. So this is a good TP out. They look to take this on spawn as well.
Yep.
Not a lot that Ultra Lords can do to respond here.
Yep, very smart TP. They just go into the next objective, not overstaying to die and lose the Elder, which is one of the few ways they could have thrown this game. They had the Rammus reset real quick because you can Powerball back in about 10 seconds, and now they have the Elder. They can all reset, spend their gold, and essentially finish through any lane they want to. If they want to be technically optimal with their end, they can all go bottom and take the last inhib, but at this point, I think as long as they 5-man, they can take this victory in a straight up team fight.
Yeah, as soon as they took Baron, they're like, okay, let's just take it down mid. And then where we get pick after pick and just walk it in. Good job fighting back by Ultra Lords to stop the end there. Didn't give up too much, but was able to delay him enough. But still wasn't able to get it back out on the map. Looks like it's going to be a bot push. Take the last standing tower, last standing inhib.
Yep, they're pushing in mid and bot. Up the ultimate from Kazuto landing on Bonkers with the shield coming through to save him from the assassination. Now Cladan just rolling in with the Powerball, scaring the enemy team from defending their final turret. And now there's one Nexus tower remaining between Rolling Stoners and the victory. And it will fall as they zone them off again with the Rammus. The Maokai coming in. Cassante trying to ult, takes out the Recon, but then Zabel will fall to Rammus. The Maokai now getting taken out by Ezreal. The taunt comes in. Lee will fall. Kaisa very low, gets jumped on by Rammus, takes him out, and they will take out the Nexus. Well played game 1 to Rolling Stoners.
Yeah, really good job. Really well executed plan. Working together, getting to the objectives. It looked like a very cohesive team.
Hey, look, the damage charts work. Again, as we were saying, Bonker's getting ganked a lot in that top lane, but just said, I'm going to scale. Did a ton of damage, was only outdone by the Ezreal. And they had the nice front line of Rakan and Rammus to set up team fights. The back line dealing out that damage, and they were able to clean out that game fairly cleanly. So we'll see how Ultra Lords try to adjust their draft for game number 2 as we play through the series. How's everybody doing out there on the chat? You guys having a good night tonight? Enjoying your weekend before the 4th? I'm celebrating the 4th and my birthday early, so, you know, I've had a little bit to drink tonight. I'm having a good time. I actually have Blitzkrieg here casting with me in the same room, so we're trying to ensure we don't get that cross chatter on our mics, but doing our best as we can, but nothing will be perfect. But still bringing you some League of Legends action tonight. Monte Blanco. This will be game number 2. Game 1 just ended, and Rolling Stoners took game number 1. Shout out to Blitzkrieg Pyro with that Prime subscription.
Just trying to do my part.
That's all we need. If everyone does their part, then we can beat back the arachnids. Take them out on Clendathu, you know?
Excellent reference. Excellent reference. Hopefully everybody else gets that.
I'm doing
And if
my
not,
part.
time to watch some Starship, MF, and Troopers.
Oh, I hit one of the wrong ones.
We're just so excited. Starship Troopers.
Wait,
A
do
little
we have
base in
3
there
now?
for you.
Ah, okay, we got 3 of those now. Alright, that's my fault. I thought we had 7, not 6. How you doing tonight, Monte Blanco? Dre chilling. Did you guys play any more Flex today, since we had so many free games? Alright. Would like to. I might be around. I might be more drunk than last night, though, so you never know. Although I will maintain the only issue we had last night was Salt wouldn't dive with me when it was called. Do you agree? There you go.
Got him. Tell me how you really feel, my buck. Breaking news. Very nice. Shout out Kid Boo. Good job staying connected. No blaming your ISP this week. Excellent news. It's always nice when everybody's able to participate and not too many pauses. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Did you know they wanted me before they got you, Mont Blanc, and I told them I would have been a bad choice? So now Kid Boy should really apologize to me for tonight, and also thank me for the easy victory you gave him.
Yeah, we were playing a classic game called Three Man, if you're not familiar, and somebody made a great rule, and there's lots of jello shots involved.
We can just say each of us had 13 Jello shots.
It was a very good time.
I had a great time. Apparently it's ads. You know, the way to avoid ads, well, they can't hear me right now, but Twitch Prime, if you have it, you can
Switch Prime.
subscribe to the channel. We use everything we get on the channel to just try to make the stream better. I know you may not know it from us being next to each other in the same room, but that's actually higher quality than normal. Only one ad? Alright, we'll take one ad. Alright, here we go into the draft. Ultra Lords banning away the Ezreal said that was too safe bot lane. We wanna actually fight. So let's ban the champion who can just run away for free. Taking out the Cassiopeia. Don't want to give that to Kazuto. He is definitely known for that champion. And Ultra Lords don't want to see the Lux, so they're foregoing the classic bans against Rolling Stoners of taking out all the green junglers currently. We'll see if they want to ban any of them this time. And then Stoners ban 2 will be the Azir once again, denying more kind of free scaling picks from Kazuto. And they take out the Amumu. Cladan let us know a couple weeks ago how free he thought Amumu was, and not wanting to give him the free champion. And then Talia once again taken away by Rolling Stoners. The first pick, Ultra Lords take the Rise. Don't want to see Bonkers on that champion once again. Was a menace they could kill in the top lane, but was still a big scaling threat. Cladan looking like he's going for that Zac, says he left up the green junglers. I'll pick one of them. And the Kaisa to follow for the bot lane.
It's a bold strategy, Cod, and see if it pays off.
You saying they didn't ban the green champions? I guess we'll pick one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Taking the you have to ban that Amumu if you're not gonna take it. I understand the rise counter, but if you're gonna leave the Zac up, not take it. It's a bold strategy. It's what happens.
Whoops! I forgot to put Coke in my drink. I'm drinking straight bullet.
So we see Samira picked up and a Poppy. So we see some of the jungle counter. We see the bot lane counter. See what the turn is here. I expect to see the mid picked up unless they really want to go with their support for Rolling Stoners. Taking their full time. Yep, they're on the mid Annie. Going match for match. Now we're into this band stage.
Yes, sir. So, going for a short range ADC into what was a Kaisa Zac. So, the Zac can already kind of jump on you fairly well. The Poppy could be a support, could be top, could be jungle. So, kind of a flex pick depending where they want to put it. But then the Annie into the Samira as well. It's a lot of essentially point and click CC to try and shut down that champion's ultimate. Ultralight saying No to the Jacks. Stoners take out the Cassante. Didn't want that without the Rise pick. And then they're gonna take out their 5th ban of Maokai. Golden Pharaoh honestly not playing bad on the Maokai. Kind of from where the game state was, made it pretty rough. So I could see that ban.
Yeah, he still provides a lot of utility, a lot of CC. It's just easy to get him outscaled with the amount of kills and money that was on the map, and not being able to put some in his own pocket.
And then Ultra Lords take down the Mordekaiser, just trying to take out those essentially solo lane carries from the top lane. Rolling Stones will pick up the support and the Thresh, leaving top lane to counter, and now we'll see where Ultra Lords champions will land for this pick phase.
I know you were saying they could flex the Poppy. I don't see KB out there, so I don't expect to see the AD carry. But I do expect the Poppy to be the counter to the Zac. Again, they could pick it if they think there's a better counter.
They grab the Nautilus to go with the Samira. You never know, KB might be just lurking in their team, but probably a jungle, could be top still. See what their final pick is. Looking like the Yone, so that should be a Poppy jungle. Ryze and Yone can kind of go in whichever lane they want to, depending on how comfortable Zabel and Kazuto are on each of those champions.
Pivot.
Oh, it's a set. Alright, set top, Ryze mid.
Yeah, it's going there for a minute.
They had me in the first half. See, I thought it was going to be Zabel Yone also, but then now it's set, so, you know. We got bamboozled. And now for the final pick of Rolling Stoners, they will grab that Scion. I feel like it's a pretty good pick into the set. You still basically don't want to fight him early because sets double autos are a little ridiculous. But as long as you get past that early game phase, you get a little bit of health on the Scion. I feel like you can trade fairly well in that lane. I'll be interested to see how Ryze does into Annie. Annie looking to just stun people and blow them up. Ryze looking for the more extended fights. And we'll see if Samira can pop off in this game or if the CC will shut her down. Yeah, I agree. They've got the low damage if they fall behind. They're relying on the Zac and Scion to allow them to maintain the team fights. If they can't rely on that front line and they get melted, they might have a problem this game. I think if Ultra Lords have like even to ahead lanes, they could have this game very well. The biggest obstacle for them is just the low range Samira ADC pick.
Your emperor shall return.
Yeah, that Samira's gonna have a lot of beef game to contend with. Some good CC options to stop that ult. But yeah, again, with that Zac doesn't fall behind, the Scion doesn't fall behind. They do ridiculous amounts of damage for being tanks.
Yeah, 100%. But Scion, you can still go just the split push build if you want to and you need to. It's not as good since they've nerfed the passive damage on towers. Yeah, Ryze will be hard to kill. For stoners, it's mainly looking to kill Samira early in a team fight and then front to back. If they take out Samira and they can just kind of do a standard front to back without Ryze melting them, I think they'll do okay. But if the Ryze is popping off and they can't deal with him, I agree Kazuto could carry this one pretty well. Also be interested to see how Zolmorn does on the Poppy. Has the ability to counter a lot of the Zac engages if there's a team fight with both of them there. So I'll have to see how on point he is with those W's.
be interested to see if the Kaisa goes more of an AD build or continues to stay on the AP build train. I mean, really needs the AD for the team, but that hasn't stopped some people in our league so far. Still going with the AP, still falling in love with the lightning item, the
Oh yeah, Static Shiv.
Static Shiv. Thank
Yeah.
you. I blame the alcohol.
I love Static Shiv currently on all the AD champs I built it on that didn't get nerfed because I only lowered the AP ratio. A all damage AP if Kaisa builds AD, she won't do as much. That is true. They are very heavy AP on the Rolling Stoners. So if Set, Poppy, and Nautilus are able to build accordingly to reduce that AP damage, that can also make this game easier for the Ultra Lords. Sam isn't the problem. Samira's just the problem if she's able to pop off during team fights and not get CC'd. They do have a lot of CC though, I agree. So, you'd think in an ideal world the Samira won't do much, but you never really know as the team fights actually flesh out. Now I'll wait for the 3-minute delay, and then we'll get into this game number 2. Who's everyone feeling for this game? Who you think's got the victory in the draft?
I think I personally like Ultra Lords. I like their draft better, but you give Cladan a green jungler, so I have a hard time picking against if you're going to give Cladan one of his top 2 choices. I know he has a big bag of choices, but like the Amumu and the Zac are his most impactful that we've seen so far. Not the Thrim is anything to laugh at or sneer at.
Yeah, we know Cladan will be comfortable. Bonkers has shown he'll pick essentially anything and be fine. So I'd like to see how Zabel tries to deal with the Scion with the set. I think the Poppy pick can be huge into the Zac if they're fighting together a lot, just to stop the jump in. And honestly, this game I want to just see Rise, Kazuto's Rise pop off and get huge against this Annie. I think that's the place they can find the most pressure. That's where you can have the highest carry potential. And if Ultra Lords want to bring this to game 3, I think they need to give him a lot of attention.
Yeah, definitely. I think last game for Rise, he was busy scaling, didn't necessarily have the team in front of him, letting them put out a lot of damage, was able to dictate the pace. So hopefully he doesn't get caught in the scaling wars and is able to become relevant. But again, we saw Bonkers do that last game, put behind early, but still able to output second most damage in the game. So
yeah. Bonkers showed you don't really need the kills to scale as Rise, but if you're what I'm thinking is a fairly favorable matchup for Rise. Like when Andy's trying to kill you, you can see the bar with the stun. I think it's one where even if you don't necessarily get a lot of kills, you can farm well, and you could just become that big Rise once again, kind of like Bonkers did in game 1.
I mean, definitely, but if they could just unlock Kazuto a little early, let him be the powerhouse to carry them, I would definitely go a long ways.
Yeah, for sure. But here we go. We got 15 seconds, and we'll jump into game number 2. Everyone's out here. We gotta give our support to Ultra Lords for game number 2. Get us to the game 3 action. Make sure we get those silver scrapes out in this live series we get to cast.
I think we're gonna see the invades, any coin flips here.
I could see it from Ultra Lords. It's not great for Rise, but Set does a lot of damage early. You got the Nautilus hook. Kaisa Q does okay damage. Not the best, but okay. So I think if anything, they'd look to invade. I'd imagine Stoners will look for the 5-point. You kind of want the hook on Thresh if any kind of fight did happen. But looking like Ultra Lords are looking for the stop lane.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So far, Rolling Stoner is somewhat staying together, but have a 4-man looking for the bot side. Ultra Lords 5-man invading on the top side. Avoided the Scion in the river, but they might walk back into him. Rolling Stoners did drop a ward onto the red buff. So now if they're together, they can look for a pick. Might be on this Annie, it might be on the Scion. Here they see the Annie, they're looking for it with Golden Pharaoh's hook, and forces the flash out of boosted. They'll take that for the invade. That's a big enough win for their books. And now Poppy will start top side, Zac will start bot side, so opposite starts from the junglers. Zac knows exactly where Poppy is, as long as they check their wards. Ultra Lords will know pretty quickly where Kledan started, and we'll see how they play in lanes accordingly.
Yeah, generally that it's like getting advantage for Kazuto. We wanted to see, and hopefully you can push that in there if you're rooting for him to get ahead there.
Yep, looking for those early trades. Knows if Annie doesn't have a stun up, you can kind of use your abilities for free. Nice hook here onto the Thresh, a return Thresh from Worthy Dust onto the Nautilus, and the Ignite comes out from both supports. Flash down for Thresh to get out of that fight, and both supports very low. ADC's trading back damage as they look for that level 2 fight. Kledan looking for this very early gank in the bot lane. We'll see if Ultra Lords have any idea. It looks like he's jumping in immediately. Forces out the flash from Pharaoh, but the flash does get him far enough. It flashes or hooks back in on the Thresh, gets hooked back in, and will now fall. Unfortunate there, he got out, and then he did fall.
Yeah, I mean, that's Zac. Zac's still there. It's not advisable to go back in. I know he's looking clean with that Astronautist chroma, but it doesn't save you from a 3v2.
Now Ryza does having the 2v1 running at Kuro, just trying to zone him off the wave a little bit. Meanwhile, Bonker's pushing the top wave, looking for all the knockups, the free Qs, and a little bit of trading going back and forth in the mid. Kazuto coming out a little bit ahead, but still both fairly healthy as far as having a kill since neither has Ignite. And now Kledan looking for this top Scuttle Crab, might be looking for this top gank momentarily.
A lot of TPs in this game, so there's going to be a lot of potential for team fights later. After 10 minutes, when we get that Unleash Teleport. Bonkers just used his top lane, so he's backed already. Nope, Sable has not backed yet.
We got 3 members mid each. Zolmorn giving up initially for this mid fight, but it was a 3v3 initially as far as people there. Now they're once again positioning for it. We'll see if anyone wants to pull the trigger. I feel like here, Zac jumps in first. They hit the hook on the Rise, he has to flash out, but he is okay. And they should be able to walk away without anyone dying.
That Nautilus is tanky, but I think Worthy Dust should have just gone for whoever Zac landed on. Get that double CC, extended duration to continue to do damage, get that pick. So just a little miscommunication, not being on the same page of who the target was.
I think landing the hook on the Rise is pretty ideal, because he's essentially the damage.
He's the damage, but they just don't have the the damage yet
Nice.
to turn that into a kill.
A nice cancel there from Zabel on Bonker's Q. Gets him very low, looking for the kill. Bonker's trying to dance around the bushes. Gets the shield up, has no more mana, however, and will flash and gets a final punch. Will take him down. Now Zabel running away from the passive. Bonker tries to pick up a couple minions. Well played, Zabel in the top lane, picking up that kill solo bolo. But yeah, that mid fight before they fought, I was gonna say I feel like whoever engages first is actually disadvantaged. Kind of luckily for Rolling Stoners, the Zac jump landed on 2 members, so he was able to kind of get 3 CCs for 2 abilities. But the Poppy and Nautilus were able to save the Rise. Here we see Bonkers ulting in top lane, Zabel ult flashing out to keep himself alive, and now will reset. Good job avoiding the death in that lane matchup. Now they get the hook onto Worthy Dust, and the follow-up from Samira will take down the kill, flashes out to make sure Kai'Sa doesn't get the kill on her, and well played in that bot lane for Ultra Lords. Oh, gets the hook in, the Zac is looking for the fight, doesn't land the jump, but will land the Q auto, and Pharah will fall to Claddan. Here Bonkers was getting a little greedy, going for that plate, gets a couple tower shots and will die to 2 autos from Zabel. Zabel's just wanting to walk away, make sure he doesn't die to the passive, but will get that and should be able to push wave, pick up his own plate to even out that plate gold. Now Claddan starting up Dragon with his bot lane, since they picked up a kill. It should be a free Dragon and get them rolling on the early stacking. This game's set up for a lot more action in the spot lane. So instead of just the supports trying to figure out what to do in lane, they're actually looking to fight. Much more exciting to cast this time, in my opinion.
Yeah, getting action from all the spots. And yeah, I mean, Ultra Lords, you know, their bot lane, they've been doing pretty well in 2v2, just a couple of turns back into the extra support there from Claddan, and that's, you know, keeping them afloat in the game.
Yep. Claddan's still out here showing why the green junglers are scary on him. Doing a very good job this game, jumping in, picking up kills, but Ultra Lord's fighting back very well. The Samira ult does come down as the Claddan jumps in. Can they pick up the kill? No, he still has his passive up, and both Samira and Nautilus will fall as the Claddan counter ganks the engage.
Time after time.
Now we've got Sion and Set fighting the top lane. Set had actually ulted Sion back closer to the river. Poppy is here to try to fight this, but Bonkers being very tanky, actually keeping this fight going for Zabel being pretty tough. Ulting back in, flash out from Zolmorn, avoids the knockup, but they do pick up the kill. Misses the ultimate to push the passive away, but Zabel able to walk away. Well played to the Ultra Lords top and jungle in that 2v1. And boosted up here to pick up the wave. Meanwhile, Kazuto applying the pressure mid as he wants to. Claddan jumping on him, but in the 1v1, unless the tower kills him, flashes away, should be safe to walk out. So, well done there, Claddan forcing out the flash from Kazuto. But Kazuto giving himself about a 20 minion lead in this lane currently, so doing the Rise job against the Annie of out farming and trying to outscale.
Yeah, so so Zabel and Zelmor had won that top fight. I know Zabel needed to back, but I would like to see at least some vision put down on that Rift Herald. If not, trying to make a play for it, especially once you saw Claddan mid. trying to clear.
Zabel
that,
doing a
that
good job here of dodging the Scion Qs, but he's still so tanky just with the Cinder. Essentially trading back very evenly as he gets punched by Zabel. A good E and ult under tower, forcing him into the tower and should pick up that kill top. Meanwhile, bot lane, Kaisa picks up the kill onto the Nautilus. Samira kills Kaisa and then Poppy's around to pick up the final kill on Thresh. All 4 of the bot laners die and Zolmorn walks away. We see Kaisa also going for the Static Shiv. Has that hybrid build, so can still use the nerfed, but still a very strong item to a pretty good potential. We'll see how that damage goes. Kazuto picking up a second plate in the mid lane as he pushes in, boosted once again. See how he can do a full combo, avoid taking a tower shot, and walk away as Gledan tries to jump onto Zolmorn's Poppy, but it shows how the W can counter the jumping. Like Bach is trying to walk away from the tower looking to proxy this lane. Says, I don't want to play with you anymore, Set. I just want to kill the waves and become tanky. I feel like that's an okay play for Bonkers. Zabel doesn't really care if he has to tank the minions. Set has very high mana regen. It all kind of depends on where the junglers are. A good block there from the Thresh Hook, and the ultimate down from the Nautilus onto the Kaisa. And now both teams will walk away as Zolmorn shows up. And both mid laners are down here in the bot lane now. Zabel's still looking for the jumpin'. Won't find one as Engage is looked for by Nautilus, hits a minion, and now Ultra Lords are looking for the dragon.
Bonker's still top.
Yep, 5 bot from Ultra Lords, Bonker split pushing, just applying that pressure. Ultra Lords need to force the objective. They will lose their Nautilus as Gledan gets ulted out by Zolmorn. They'll pick up the dragon, but now they need to send people back top to pick up the objective. Zabel actually flashes in, goes for the stun. You're going to want to win this fight very hard. Gets a double kill onto, or 1 kill now, a second kill. 1 kill onto Kuro, 1 kill onto Zabel. With the flash engage from Zabel. Meanwhile, Bonkers is looking to pick up this top tower for first tower gold, as well as all 5 plates. As that demolish comes through, he will pick up the tower. Gets 625 in his pocket for the plate and the tower. Meanwhile, Kazuto picks up the 3rd plate, will reset, spend his gold, and look to keep this pressure up mid.
And we're finally going for the first Rift Herald. Like to see this put mid and lock that
OP on set.
like to see the Rift Herald go mid and really lock this rise like you want, Mont Blanc.
Yeah, we need this rise to show up. He's doing a good job getting a lot of plates. He's scaling up. Has that Roa looking for the tier item, but definitely is gonna need to be there to be one of the big carries. Are your games over with Assault, or are you just hanging out right now between games? Now we see Zabel once again fighting Bonkers a fair amount. Still like doing a lot of damage, punching them, but just trading into the now finished Sunfire cape, making it pretty tough for him. Gonna be falling behind unless he gets KP. Yeah, that's true. He's doing a good job on plates. He got 3 plates fairly free. So it's all about making sure that maintains. I'd say currently.
Alright, so we 3v2 in the mid lane right now. And there's the Rift Herald.
Here we have the Rift. We'll pick up this mid tower for the side of Ultra Lords. Now Cladan is in the way, so if they go too far up, he will look for the jump engage. They take the tower, and now they're all spreading back out once again. We've got the ADCs in the bot lane. We'll see if anyone else goes down to try to help out with this fight. Go Kings might lose, gotta stream it. Well, I'm actually off this entire week, not Mont Blanc, so you and I can actually stream all the games this week if you want to. You just gotta be there as my streaming homie. Meanwhile, we see the wet noodle fight in the top lane where Zable's doing his best to do damage as set against the Scion who just builds armor and health and says, I don't care if you punch me. We do have the Rise in the area, so now that the ult's down, if he does overstay, it could be a good pick for the side of Ultralords. Rise back mid, opening up this farm lead to about 30 minions. So still doing his job as far as the farming front. Ooh, that minion saving the Kai'Sa. I think that Nautilus hook might have hit. But he goes ahead and ults in as Poppy is here. They gotta keep Kai'Sa from getting the hook. Takes her down as the TP comes through from Rise. Does not get any kill participation as all 5 of them actually ult bottom. One of them needs the back to stop Bonkers now. A little bit of an overcommit when they actually had that fight 1 as 3. Unfortunately, they used both DPs when they were trying to support that engage. Taking out the bot tower, Zabel walking back to the top lane will save the in-hit tower. And now Zac trying to jump in as Annie also looking to jump in. Samira jumping on the Zac will take him down with the ultimate as Poppy takes down the Annie. And now Bonkers running away from Zabel. Zabel doesn't really need to kill Bonkers here, he just needs to kill the farm. Forcing out the ult, which is fine. But a big team fight win here on the fight after the fight, essentially, for Ultra Lords.
Got Dragon coming up here in 9.
Ooh, a good jump in from Kuro, gets the ultimate once again, took another kill and will fall to Kai'Sa, but gets the double kill before he falls. And now the Dragon should be fairly free, they just gotta rush it down before before Cladan shows up. Which they should be able to. Zabel's looking for the wolves, assuming that will be gone. Bonkers in the area to also try to be annoying. But Zulmorn should be able to smite this, and will ideally be able to walk away. Gives over a Heartsteel stack to Bonkers, and forces out the flash, but Bonkers' flash follows and gets hooked in by Nautilus. As they're fighting once again, they don't really want this fight. Zulmorn falls to the Annie, the knockup on the Nautilus will have him also fall to Bonkers. Annie gets a double kill. And now the TP out from Scion to save the top tower as it's a 3v5 across the map. This really needed to disengage after they got that dragon there. But the Samir is alive. Should be able to hold this mid tower as long as this is not like a 3v1 and she can just get dove. But looks like they're backing off and Kuro should be safe.
Yeah, some really good plays there from Ultralord and really good map control. You know, they took double teleport, it wasn't wasted, they were able to get some kills off of that, turned it into a drag. Fortunate there at the end of that play, not being able to just get out in time. But they're making a lot of good positive plays here. We're still only 1k goal difference. Can we go and see where that goal difference lays?
Looking like a big gold lead for Scion. Fairly even in the jungle. Kazuto's got about 800 gold lead. 2k or 1.7k gold lead for Samira. Just picked up a lot of kills and about 300 with the support. So a lot of the lead for Ultralords in that Samira currently. And I would say, just from being fairly even, the Rise's gold lead is bigger than it says on paper.
I'm really impressed with Bonkers, and there's some fights that he just stayed up there and kept farming, but being down 4 kills, but yet being up 50 farm and got all those plates early. He still like the last game on Rise, even though he got behind on kills and deaths, just continues to play the game, continues to do the right things, and he has the gold lead right now.
Yes, he does, as he's trying to ult onto Kazuto. Kazuto procs the phase rush, so he's able to walk away without a real issue, but both of them now trying to split against each other as they're some of the higher gold havers on their teams. Now, Poppy trying to walk up gets jumped on by Gledan quickly and taken out by the Kai'Sa Q. Nautilus will also fall. Now it's a 2v4 up here on the top lane as they walk away from the hook. A flash in from Zabel gets the ultimate stun, and Kuro will take out the Annie. Getting Gledan very low, but he has his passive up. And they will now walk away for the 2-for-1. As long as they can stay in the area, yeah, no real pressure on this Baron. Bonkers and Kazuto still just farming up against each other. Doesn't really matter either way for them two. Just still looking to scale into this game. I think Kuro's in a spot where he's fed enough. He has 3 items on Samira. If they get some good 5v5s where the engage comes through before he jumps in, he could have some team fights where he melts the enemy team, but we'll have to see how they play it out. Got some nice emotes flashing back and forth between Bonkers and Kazuto as they farm against each other and don't really fight.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You just gotta get in the other guy's head as you don't want to fight him, you know?
Yeah, they're about even in farm, 3 even in kills, and 2 more assists on the Kazuto, so it's very similar gold.
Yeah, I feel like right now the game is basically balanced on Ultra Lord's engage versus the ability for a lot of CC down here onto boosted, taking out the Annie. They use the set ultimate. Might not have strictly been needed, but got the kill, so we will take it. And now they're looking to set up this Baron play as the Rolling Stoners are looking at Dragon number 2 for themselves. This would be a fantastic trade from the Ultra Lords if they give Drag to number 2 for a Baron. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Kazuto and Bonkers still just kind of poking at each other, not really doing damage, just having fun emoting back and forth as nothing really happens, and the Baron does fall to Ultra Lords as Stoners pick up Dragon number 2, so I feel that's a huge win as far as macro to Ultra Lords, but we'll see how they use this push now that they have the Baron boost.
Yeah, absolutely. They keep getting that gold and the advantage. Stack the Baron gold and Rise continues to push bot. Nobody's really going to answer him just yet, and he's getting pulled back mid to answer that push. And might pull him back down.
Yeah, Rise is perfectly happy to split bottom. Here we're looking for the Zac jumping on the Nautilus. They walk far enough back where he won't do the jump, but right now Rise against Annie, when it was Rise against Scion, you're not really going to give away that many Heartsteel procs, and as long as you're not getting jumped on, you're going to be fine. Now we see the Zac jump onto the Nautilus, gets hooked in, Nautilus flashed away from the tower, and the enemy team has to run away to avoid that Samira damage as the ultimate almost comes through. Now Sion's looking to flank Ultra Lords in this mid lane. They need to be very careful. They don't have Kazuto here. Gets the ult in onto the Poppy as Rise will ult in, or teleport in. They lose the Samira, but they need the Rise damage to come through now. They pop the passive on Cladan. They have the teleport coming through from boost bunkers. And now Cladan is back up. Will fall, but they're running at the Rise as boosted is very low, but still not dead. Rise will pick up that kill as well, still looking very healthy. Just need to watch out for this passive from the Scion, which will get taken out. Now Rise just needs to run down this mid lane and take out the next tower. It ends up being a 3 for 3 with a very healthy Rise able to push and take out the tower. So, engage was very good on the side of Rolling Stoners, but the teleport in from Kazuto working out to take the win fight victory and get more objective pressure down on the map.
Yeah, Kazuto, they said would get so much with this with the Baron push, and he got those 3 kills, so he can get back to his gold. That's it's worth a couple waves.
Yeah, definitely teleporting in the right time, was far enough back, didn't get immediately engaged on, and did his job. Is now 3-0-4 with 255 farm, has Flame Horizon boosted, so has been playing it slow in that mid lane, doing the objective game, but has been doing his job nonetheless in this game. Now Ultra Lords have 3 in the bot lane, 1 top, and Kazuto just respawned, so running away actually, Rolling Stoners, as I think they had a 4v3 if they had wanted to fight that with no TP on the Rise. Playing it very respectfully. I think Ultra Lords need to slow this down until the Rise is there before they actually go for this kind of push. Now sending Kazuto bot lane. So once again, this 3-man, if you're gonna go for the 1-3-1, you need to be very respectful and understand our power is Samira if she can get her stacks up, but that takes a little bit. Our power is Kazuto. We need to be out of the Zac engage range so we don't get blown up. Now looking like they're clearing out the topside jungle. Might be looking for the 4-man on this top tower, but Zabel is backing. So, looking like a reset might be the dragon becoming the objective for them now. Here it looks like Zabel's run to mid. They can all group up. They can take this bottom jungle as they set up vision around dragon. Kazuto walking to the top lane. Looks like he has about 20 seconds on teleport, so he can split. Once that teleport's up, you can get back to the team fights pretty easily. They just gotta make sure that's up before they fight. And Kuro getting knocked up quickly, but none of the other teammates were there. And now Zolmar's in a little bit of a scary spot. They've got a slow play this as Kazuto is walking from the mid lane. A nice ult in from Zabel, takes the kill onto the Annie with the big ultimate of the Scion onto her. We got Kuro ulting in the back line. They're trying to burn down Bonkers. It's taking a while, but he does fall. Well, they're watching out for the passive as the Poppy junks on the Kaisa, but will fall to the Kaisa. Zac looking for the jump in. Gets it onto Samira and will take her down as Rise takes out Thresh and it's now running down Kaisa. Gets the shield, takes out the Kaisa. It's now a 3v1, but the smite is on the side of Rolling Stoners. As instead of the dragon, Kazuto actually ults to the mid lane. We'll go for that inhibitor. Now drawing that pressure away, we'll see if Cladan wants to save the base or wants to look for this dragon. Still being dragon number 3 is not the biggest deal. Cladan does jump onto the dragon. They should be able to collapse back onto him now. Got Golden Pharaoh CCing him, keeping him in the dragon pit. Zabel not really moving right now. As a TP comes through from Boosted and Bonkers, both of them. Now Zabel came, gets ulted by the Scion, gets stunned by the Annie, and is trying to haymaker his way out of this as he's running away. Meanwhile, Kazuto is still pushing this mid lane, saying, I don't care about this dragon. Poppy's now alive. Might be looking for a steal. Kazuto takes down the inhib mid. And it's looking like Ultra Lords are not going to fight for this dragon anymore. Poppy tries to run into old people out of the way. Luckily, is able to run away without getting hooked, and they should just disengage from this at this point. Game number 1 was won by Rolling Stoner's critic. So that one, a big fight. I feel like the Ultra Lords won. Here we have a re-engage onto the Samira, forces out the flash. Zolmarn also flashing out to try to stay safe. Nice hook there from Pharaoh into the ultimate on the Rising Dust, but I don't know if they have the rest of the team here to help with this, as Kuro does fall to the Scion Q, as well as the Nautilus. A lot of their power is on Kazuto, but he wasn't there for that engage.
Yeah, just kind of a bit of a head scratcher. It's like, yeah, you got on the target you wanted, but they have enough beef to step back in front. It was a 3v4.
Yeah, for me the head scratcher was they won the fight, they could have gotten Dragon for free, and Kazuto just really wanted that mid in him and refused to go back to Dragon to fight. But now they're fighting once again. Kazuto takes out the Kaisa, trying to kite back from Bonkers. The big ultimate taking out the Thresh, as he is just jumping around the backline. Kazuto flashed away from the knockup from Bonkers. Is now pushing this mid lane once again. Stoners don't have the damage to do the Baron, so he is forcing them off as Clodan is looking to do birds and potentially flank Kazuto. As he runs into the bot side jungle. And we'll look for more camps. Now we've got Nautilus and Samira trying to start up this Baron. They are on wards, so they will leave quickly. But I feel like Ultra Lords kind of have the team fights right now if they just group up as 5, but it seems like Kazuto wants to be solo. Thank you, Hobbit, for the Prime subscription for the 4 months. 4 on brand for Hobbit. You're just gonna have to always do 4 months, my friend. And now we see the Poppy jumping onto Bonkers, getting the stun down, walking away as Kazuto is still pushing this bot lane. Will now be fighting Boosted Sandwich in the 1v1 as the rest of the team tries to stall. They are starting up the Baron right away. I don't feel like you need to rush this on the side of Ultra Lords. You have the stronger split pusher right now. If you just stood there and did nothing, I think it's better. Kazuto will take out the Annie. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is getting engaged on. Samir takes out the Kaisa with her ultimate, is getting knocked up by the Thresh and Scion, but they do take down the Thresh. Gets taken out by the Zac, but now it's a 3v2 against the tanks. Kazuto is still pushing that bot lane. Now the 2 tanks are not taking any damage from the 3 of Ultra Lords, but they take out a second inhibitor. Only the Scion TPing back. Zac trying to run down the Nautilus, who is trying to run away as much as he possibly can. Kazuto still farming out that mid lane. Looking to maybe help his support now. Looking for this Clodan in the mid lane.
Golden Pharaoh did a good job surviving and just wasting Clodan's time.
A good stun there from Kazuto. Don't really want to overchase this, but you can potentially get this kill. Takes out the passive, has the rest of the team there. They should be safe as Scion is nearby. Gets it picked up, well played there. Kazuto and also Golden Pharaoh very well played to not die there. Now Ultra Lord's trying to rush down the Baron once again. It's a better rush down as they just killed the enemy jungler. They have the TP in from Zabel and Kuro showing up right now. Looking like Rolling Stoners will give this, and this is where you should reset, run to Dragon. You're looking to stop their soul. Yeah, If they don't want a 5v5, they could send Kazuto top lane to take out the last couple of towers. But I think at this point you just win the 5v5s if you're Ultra Lords, and you should look for the 5v5s. Win a fight, a dragon, win the game. That's how you end it right here, I think.
Yeah, I agree. The fight's more important than the dragon just denying the dragon.
Get themselves on the soul point. Kaisat's ult out, avoiding the engage from Zabel. And now they can walk it up mid lane as the Ultra Lords. They could actually either walk mid lane or walk it fully top with the bot inhib down still. And take out the towers. Looking like Kazuto's gonna look for the top lane. The 3 here, once again, should be very careful. They can get jumped on pretty easily. They'll follow Kazuto to the top lane. And they'll look to slowly finish this one out as they take out towers on inhibs. A nice hook there from Golden Pharaoh, taking out Cladan. Gets the root down from Rise and takes him down. Nice pick there, Golden Pharaoh. Now they're on the next, the inhib tower for the top lane. Bonkers is a huge health tank, but they can slowly whittle him down with their damage and let the 2 Baron empowered cannons do the job, taking out the tower. They've got Zabel pushing the mid inhibitor as they take out the top inhibitor, and now they've just got the Nexus towers to go. Kazuto batting CS set. Hey man, if it works, it works. Sometimes you just gotta get that CS. Meanwhile, Bonkers getting pulled back from the Thresh Lantern. They're taking out these towers. Take 1 down, hook back in the Scion. Take him down, take out tower number 2, and now it's just the Nexus. You can take it down. There's nothing. There's something. Somebody hit the Nexus. Hit the Nexus. Hit the Nexus. Alright, triple kill. You wanted the triple kill, I respect it. Well played game number 2 to Ultra Lords, forcing this to a game 3 match. And I think that calls for some silver scrapes. How'd you feel about that game number 2?
Some very good adjustments by Ultra Lords, banning away the strengths of the Rolling Stoners and then taking the Rise from themselves. And yeah, able to get him out there, get the money in his pocket. Yeah, wasn't necessarily there for all of the fights, but did what he needed to do to scale up. And you know, you got those tanky boys for Rolling Stoners, but just not enough when you got a Rise.
Yep, showing in game 1 and 2, Rise scales very well still. If you farm up and you, as Critter said, pad your CS score, you're going to do a lot of damage. I think there were a couple times the Ultra Lords could have kind of grouped and ended that a little sooner. But still very well played that game number 2, and it'll be interesting to see how game 3 goes. If we'll see which side the Rolling Stoners want to pick, and how much they want to prioritize that Rise pick versus just banning it for this game number 3. But yeah, we'll wait for the teams to get all set up and have a quick little break until we get there. Alright. Got a little bit fancy at the end. Alright. Waiting for the teams to line themselves back up for game number 3. Music got me feeling some type of way. I'm glad. Glad it's got you feeling some type of way. If you like the last one that just happened, just check out some Electro Swing. It's pretty fun. But we'll have to see how Rolling Stoners respond to the Game 2 draft of Ultra Lords. It looks like they picked the red side. And see if they want to ban that Rise, if they think they can counter it, or what they want to do to that pick. That seems to be very strong in this matchup. His ult one-shots were nutty. Well, he did keep ulting the Scion, who had like 10,000 health, onto people's heads. Which it just so happens when people have a lot of health, they take a lot of damage when they get ulted by Set.
Absolutely.
If the enemy tank lines up in front, if your tank lines up in front of you and Set ults them on top of your head, you're gonna die.
Yeah, so I'm imagining if The Rolling Stoners are going red. They're going to ban the Rise. I want to see Kazuto on that again.
Yeah, I don't know if they've picked side yet or if they're still just trying to line up. But early indications look like they want that red side once again.
Zabel saying time for some Zillion.
Too high though. No one's high on the cast. We're all just a little bit tipsy. Oh, is a beard now talking for Valhalla Esports? Cheers to that. Cheers indeed, my friend. We can't smoke. We have clearances. We're not allowed to smoke. Yeah, it's in the game chat. Yeah, I feel like the entire team of Rolling Stoners should be high for them to actually be on the team. Always me. There you go, boosted. Always being high.
Yeah, otherwise it's suboptimal for them.
Yeah, if they're not high, they're playing worse. Honestly, we know Beard's high. Beard's always high. How did your games go, Beard? I'll probably cast them later this week since I took the whole week off. Good. All right, so you lost. Good to hear. Here we got the draft wall up. Hopefully it'll happen fairly soon. Well, at least if I knew you guys 2-0'd, I can leave you guys to last. So if I happen to not to get to a game, I can skip you guys. So that'd be fair. Or good games. Oh yeah, Los Mamadas is very solid. I feel like their updates has made them a lot scarier, and they still have a lot of smart drafting that they do. I feel like their only drawback right now is it might be a little flip as to getting an early lead in that jungle slot.
Did Vintage continue his trend this week?
Benton's actually wasn't able to predict this week. Bonk's using the bathroom. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, okay. You can start draft whenever you want to, boosted. That's your prerogative.
I think if we pick Timo here, I think we would riot, not or we riot.
Pick Timo, right? Listen, we'll pick Timo if you grace us with your Twitch Prime sub. Then it's a Timo for sure. I can guarantee it to a 90% certainty.
If Bulgaria was in this game, he would definitely take that jungle.
Oh, we got the Prime. Thank you for the sub. We appreciate it. We'll love you for at least 30 days. Rolling Stoners or Ultralords, you need to pick Timo now, please.
Give the people what they want, I guess.
Here we go into the draft. We've got the Casio ban once again for the Rolling Stoners. Still don't want to see Kazuto on his #1 champion. Taking out the Ezreal again by Ultralords. Didn't want to see that very safe ADC. And if I'm lying about the team up pick, I told you 90%, so I still had 10% leeway, just by the way. What up, Deity? How you doing? Can you believe that, Night Raid Owls wanted me so bad when I was drunk that they were ready to lose their games when they had a free win with Montblanc? Insane. Once again, Rolling Stone is taking out that Azir, the Lux being taken away from Bonkers by the Ultralords. At least 250k.
So Rolling Stoners went blue, Ultralords, with those two picks. They still have to ban the Amumu here, meaning they're going to leave that Rise up for first pick.
Or they leave the Amumu up and they ban the Rise. But yeah, you are correct. The Rolling
Wow.
Stoners going for that first pick, and they do ban the Rise. I was correct. Look at me.
Gonna give Cladan the Amumu.
Cladan's never said Amumu's free. Oh wait, he's picking it. Oh no. We'll have to see how he does on this Amumu champion. He's definitely never played before. We'll see how Ultralords want to respond. Not the
Bold
Cladan.
strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it pays off.
I'm surprised neither team first picked Teemo after we got that very kind subscription in the chat. I apologize for these teams trolling you. Full Yordle team with Teemo. Of course, it's gotta be. Because, I mean, Sejuani's a Yordle, right? Sejuani jungle to match that Amumu. Both with some pretty strong early ganks. Sedge, if you set up the team around her, I think is a little stronger for the skirmishes. Amumu's ultimate is just very strong. And I will see what they follow up the pick with. Grab that Caitlyn going for the long range 80 carry. Kind of hard to counter the Caitlyn. There's a couple that do fine into her, but kind of giving yourself a lot of presence in that bot lane, at least for the early to mid game. A Mumu flex into support and slam Trundle. You know, they always could. I do like myself some Trundle, though I hate jungle. And they pick up the Milio for the Rolling Stoners, the, let's just say, quite the strong support champion right now that Riot has released.
The Zach's up, the Rams is up. You never know.
They could always pick the Ram as top once again. Bonkers had showed how much he likes it. So we'll see what they're feeling. Taking that Vigar, want to have that scaling pick in the mid lane. Or the Teemo, you're right. What about the Teemo? We'll see if Kazuto wants to pick a counter to this Vigar right now. Looking like they'll pick up the Morgana, assuming that will be the support pick. Milio is indeed a Yordle now, so they have 3 Yordles so far. They just need one more in the Teemo, and Rolling Stoners will have pulled off the full Yordle comp. Ultralord's taking out the Jax once again, trying to ban away some more of those solo carries from Bonkers. Unfortunately, they haven't banned the Teemo yet, so there's still the chance of the Teemo being picked. Set being banned by the Rolling Stoners, saying Zabel had a very good showing on that, taking out the Scion by Ultralords. And the final ban will be Victor. Trist ADC. I mean, Trist could be the ADC, you never know. Ultralords will pick their top or mid here. We'll see what they want to go. I feel like you pick mid here because you already know it's Vigar.
Agreed.
And they'll hover the Kassadin, looking like a pickup. Picking up that Kassadin, saying, I will go for the scale, I will scale harder than you, I will be the Kassadin. Now Rolling Stone is going to round out their team comp with a another Yordle and a Teemo for sure. Yeah. Looking like the Ornn. Want the Ornn Horn for the ornaments in the late game and the big team fight ultimate to set up essentially everyone. Huge Teemo angle. And a Felios. So Felios, Milio bot, Ornn top, Mubu jungle, and Vigar mid lane. Deity calling it out correctly. Those are not Yordles. Rolling Stoners has lied to us. I apologize, chat. I had no idea. And we'll see what top laner Ultralords picks into the Zorn. Looks like my salary's getting dropped. If anything, we're gonna raise your salary now because you've been too good at predicting it. They want the Yone into the Ornn. He does have opportunities early to get a lead and stick with it, but you kind of need to punish early. What do you mean it's already too high? It can never be too high. We can always raise it more. We got you. Don't even worry about it. Curtis Faith Champ. But yeah, for this draft, I like Rolling Stoners a lot more. They have Engage, they have the Milio, they have the Scale, Vigar, and Aphelios, and the Ornhorn, plus ornaments. I feel like Ultralords need to be ahead, especially in the top lane, somewhat in the bot lane. Mid, you can just kind of farm it up and scale, but if you're not pressuring the map, I feel like you're kind of losing to the team fight comp of Rolling Stoners, so we'll be interested to see how Rolling Stoners pull this one off. I think they have put themselves at a bit of a disadvantage as far as ultimates, but if they get a lead, they can show me how wrong I am.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more similar to game one. I think it's going to be very slow building bot lane, and most of the action is going to be top side. I do like the Cassinan and Yon pickup, though, for the Sejuani, because the Caitlyn and Morgana do absolutely nothing for the Sejuani passive. So getting some help for when you do get those ganks is going to be nice. But yeah, the scaling is very high on Rolling Stoners as well, with that the Aphelios, Vigar. I know there's the Cassinan, but if Rise of Dusk has the hands and the know-how to play Aphelios, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, I'd agree. I feel like I'd be more okay with the Yone pick if the top lane matchup game 1 and 2 seemed like you were winning it pretty easily. I feel like game 2 is able to do very well, but it's still a tough one. And I feel like Yone kind of needs to win this matchup essentially 1v1, unless you're going to spend a lot of time top as the jungler. I mean, the casting gives you the late game scaling, but you can't be too far behind if you're going to go for that kind of win comp also. So I just like Rolling Stone's draft a lot more this game, but we definitely will see how it plays out.
But all my lifetime could have brightened your day. Grounded?
Fine. Let me at him.
Hey, never pick a fight you can't win.
You reek of fear.
I'm also really interested to see Cladan actually getting to play the Amumu. That's right. So just just another game to see him on there and just actually let that through.
Yeah, like Cladan having a Mumu he showed, I think it was 2 weeks ago we streamed it. He played at all 3 games and he had very good games. So I feel like him being on a Mumu is very comfort for Glenn. I agree if Cassian's trying to kill the tanks, it's over, which is basically Mumu and Ornn. But the way it's been set up the past 2 games, he's gonna be needing to hit those tanks in the team fights, so I just feel like it's gonna be a hard fight on the side of Ultra Lords, but definitely a chance on both sides, and we will see how they play it out. If there is an invade, I would guess Rolling Stoners look for it, though they have the Q on the side of Morgana, so I'm gonna guess a double 5-point again this game, but we'll see if anyone wants to invade.
Yeah, and if they do, probably more looking just for the ward, just get the early vision down. Don't coin flip anything really.
Yeah, a lot of times when you invade for the ward, if they're there, you kind of have to fight. But yeah, invading for the ward is nice just for the information. It's just like if you invade the Yone level 1's not that great, the Kazan level 1's not that great. Gaben's got good range. So you kind of have 3 champs who are okay versus stoners who have an Ornn, a Mumu, a Vigar, where they don't really want to invade on their own, but they're okay in a counter invade. Dude, just calling out the clutch from Kazuto for game number 3. It is definitely a champion, or if you're looking to clutch, that's one you want to be on. If he's looking to clutch, we'll want to see a lot of safe lanes from Ultralords early. You want to see that Yone get a lead, if not a kill early, and just the Caitlyn Morgana to kind of bully. Aphelios is the only one who can kill him. Well, that's kind of true, unless if there's a 5v5 and you're getting a Mumu ulted and Ornn ulted. So, like, Aphelios is the one who does damage, but if you're CC'd, you can also get killed by the other people. You know? I feel like it's another game where Kazuto just wants to very much split push, though. I agree, dude. So, we'll have to see how the rest of the game goes, if anyone gets kind of a big lead or not. Isn't a Mumu bad into this comp? Technically, he's not ideal, but a Mumu in 5v5s is just a huge team fight ult, so I never discount the team fight ult. Just a Z tier on the server. Yeah. Yeah, in this server if you play a Mumu you're just big brain. Because people love the team fight. Mumu will be bad into this comp. Junking, if you use their prime sub and you give it to us, then he will be useless and you'll have influence in the match. Big brain play. And use our now 6 emotes that we have, thanks to 3 new ones being made by Deity. Shout out. Everyone spam the new emotes, please. That's what we like to see. Alright, let's see what they're feeling for this early game. If anyone's going to want to invade, they're going to 5-point like I thought they would. What are they feeling?
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Hi, Pickle. Looking like Zabel's feeling the fight.
30 seconds
We've
until
got
minions
4
spawn.
on the side of Ultra Lords looking to walk in. Stoner's looking for the 5 point. See the somewhat invade. I'm gonna quickly back off. Oh, and if you don't have your Prime sub available, $5 will do just fine as well. We'll still make it work. We'll write it into the script for you. Don't even worry about it.
Minions have spawned.
Yogi Berra, pay you money, almost just as good as cash.
Right, but a little bit of invade shenanigans, no real committal, and looking like both junglers will be starting this bot side of the map. Like this wants to lag on me a little bit. If it keeps going, I'll hot myself back a little bit to fix it. But hopefully we'll be all good. Bakker's actually starting the W. Normally you start the Q to get a little bit of poke, but with Yon starting Q, having the W is actually better for the trade if you do the auto.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Yon in this league. I've played. I've seen Yannick Shama, now Joker, played a little bit
Right.
last
Now we
season, but
see
yeah.
level 2 hit by both. The W proc going out from the Orin, getting the bigger chunk down. Yeah, anytime he gets that W into the auto, he's going to be winning these trades early. This is one where Zabel wants to just farm it up, get a couple of levels, and then look for a fight when he has the level ranks in his kit. See the push coming through for the side of Ultra Lord's bot lane. They've got the range advantage a little bit, so not overly surprising. They're the ones who can push in. Good job by rolling Stoner's bot lane to avoid a lot of the Caitlyn poke as she auto attacks. Looking like both junglers getting close to this top side, trying to kill their final camp. Might end up being a 2v2 in this top lane once they both arrive.
Brilliant.
Quickly picking up the Scuttle Crab. Now they're walking towards top as Sejuani's looking towards the mid lane. They're now trying to walk back up. Nothing there. Walking back down. Is seen by the wards of the Rolling Stoners, so as long as boosted plays safe, wasting a little bit of time here. And might set up Cladan for a double scuttle start. Cladan will make it first to the Scuttle Crab. They should have pressure, but as far as Ultra Lords go, so might be able to use that versus the Smite. Ooh, no, the Smite goes to Cladan, picks it up. Nope, sorry. Zolmarn picked it up, so one scuttle each. A little bit of fighting, but kinda ends up equal. We got both junglers looking at bot lane. We got the knock up on Rise of Dusk, gets the cleanse out after the root from Golden Pharaoh lands, and they have to walk away. Put down here to back them up, but will not be able to jump in on this fight.
Yeah, it looks like the Orin is the one coming out ahead so far in the beginning of this game. It's Jim's farm. That's a big wave here, but it's had kind of the control to push.
Yeah, it's one where Ornn kind of naturally does well into this lane. As long as you're not actually fighting, you can trade a lot better. Now Kazuto hits 6, jumps out of the Vigar stun, gets a little bit of damage. Now Cladan's here to support his mid laner. Kazuto doing his job initially, having the farm lead on the Vigar, hoping that the game stays relatively even everywhere else and he can continue to scale. Jumps in there to stop the back, but gets a tower shot, so kind of want to make sure you don't take too much free damage there in the mid lane. Sable here trying to crash the wave into the Ornn. Ornn looking to freeze. I think he has a freeze right now. And Caitlyn Morg just pushing in, as they should. They have the range advantage and looking to get some damage down on these plates. No plates falling yet. Got a little bit of fishing going on here from Golden Pharaoh. Looking for Rise at Dusk. Doesn't hit him, but still healthy enough to not really worry too much about the auto trades. Dragon is now up, so if any team wants to go for that first dragon, they can look for that objective. So Dwani is currently on the top side, whereas Mumu's looking bot side.
Yeah, the Caitlyn's and Morgan's been pushed up a while. So here comes the Mumu.
Mumu walking in, saying you're pushed up, I'm gonna look for this gank. Gets the stun onto Caitlyn, gets the trap, and it delays the stun long enough from Cladan to not get back onto Morgana. Both of them survive. Alright, hang on. Let me do this real quick. Hopefully this will stop random pauses. We're gonna see the same thing happen bot real quick, but we'll avoid random pauses ideally. So same thing, good cleanse there by Caitlyn, gets stunned but walks away. Cladan being smart changes targets to Morgana, but the Caitlyn ult saves Golden Pharaoh. Very well played Kuro in that 3v2. As you say, not even close, baby. So easy. Zabel now has the ultimate, jumps in with the shadow, doesn't quite get enough damage down as he takes back his tether. Now the Ornn trying to ult to take out Zabel. He should be able to dodge it with the Q. Looks like he didn't even knock the ram back. But a very close fight up here in the top lane. If Zabel continues to push it, might be able to keep Ornn here. Looking like Ornn will back. So Zolmorn having a good idea trying to dive the low top laner. Didn't have Zabel on the same page to push it in. And now Ornn teleports back in, Zabel will reset and try to get back to lane as soon as possible. Now Zolmorn stealing away the blue buff, it looks like. Cladan picks up his red. And looking at birds, might look for a gank mid, or might just look to keep farming. No,
But yeah, much slower paced game than the other two.
Yeah, definitely slower pace, but I feel like slower pace in a way that is nice right now for the Ultra Lords. We've got Zolmorn now coming back from the steal on blue onto the Ornn. If they can pick up the skill using the ult on the Sejuani, they can flash over from the Sedge and pick up the kill. Well done. They have the Amumu fighting bot lane trying to ult onto Kuro. The ult from Rise of Dusk picks up the kill. So trades across the map, picks up 2 kills in quick succession. Sejuani looking for this Rift Herald while Mumu is backing to reset.
Guess I cast a curse to say more often.
How dare they not vote? But I agree, they were doing it a lot slower, which I think is smart on side of Ultra Lords. I think their comp tends toward late game scaling as long as there's no obvious lead on the side of Stoners. I think Stoners just have an easier team fight comp, whereas they get to the mid game, they might have easier team fight wins if they opt into it. I think a lot of that might have to do with how Zabel builds. If he gets a build where he can 1v1 the Zorn and just be a menace in the side lane, that'll be huge for Ultra Lords. If he has the team fight and Ornn can dictate the team fights with his ultimate, I think that will be a huge gain to the Rolling Stoners.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can get a splitting force or some type of one-on-one contributions, because I think they're much better, like as you said. The execution by the Rolling Stoners, their team fight is going to be a lot easier. If they can get
Zolmorn here, forcing the engagement once again top. Gets a double knockup from Bonkers, but doesn't have anyone here to back up the team fight damage. And also Kazuto is here, able to pick up a kill for himself, so giving a kill over to their main scaling threat. Kazuto now having 30 CS lead as well as a kill, ready to become a monster on this Kassadin. Kledan doing a good job responding to the top gank, picking up the dragon for free, but a first dragon is not that big of a deal. Now the Caitlyn ulting the Amumu as Kazuto trying to jump in on him and pick up the skill. The Veigar... Wait. Alright, Veigar flashed in for the stun, didn't land the stun, but saved his jungler nonetheless. I don't know if you flash for that stun normally, but you know, it happened. Poor Ornn. I agree, Critter. Why would people ever kill Ornn? He just wants to build things with this hammer. I feel like right now how this mid lane is looking, Kazuto has his rod, has the tier stacking, and is kind of just able to ult on repeat into harassing this Veigar. Alright, we got this re-engage here from bot lane. Oh, and they land that. Oh, the Q? No Q from Kuro. But I think if nothing happens, Kazuto can just play this mid lane and become very strong. Who are we cheering for? You can cheer for either the Ultra Lords, who are the red team, or you can cheer for the Rolling Stoners, who are the blue team. They're both 1-on-1 in a best of 3 series. This is the third game. Seeing some. Also, kill some mayhem. That's also a good choice.
That's my choice. We're all here for be entertained, have a good time.
Rolling Stoners is a better name. I'm cheering for them. Alright, you're cheering for the blue team then. You're believing in the Ornn, Amumu, Veigar, Aphelios, and Emilio. And if you want to show your true support of them, you're going to look at your Amazon Prime sub that you've never used, and you're going to drop it in this chat. Okay, we ball. I appreciate that. Here comes the Ornn Horn trying to pick up this kill on Zabel. Gets the hit even though he tries to dodge it with the E. Has him very low. If he flash auto Qs, he could have gotten the kill. Backs off, but Ornn getting another plate. Sejuani trying to show up top. Twitch Prime, let's fucking go. True. Sejuani up here top. Bonkers dodging the engage, but getting ulted on, flashing away from the Yone ult. Has to take the tether back, but is now fighting the Sejuani for his life. Will get slowed and autoed one more time to fall. Bonkers following to the gank once again by Zolmorn out here. Not getting any kills on the Yone, but getting him very far ahead as far as just lane presence.
Yeah, a lot of attention top lane.
Here, a nice ultimate from Kledan, gets Golden Pharaoh. has the Zonias to get out, has them very low. Kuro dropping to half from the Aphelios damage. They're both very low and might have to back off from the tower. Zabel looking to take down as Ornn ults back in. Or teleports back in. Of course reflects on that. Mont Blanc, where is your Twitch Prime? What are you doing, Mont Blanc? What are you... Come on now. Give us the Prime slip.
So yeah, I feel like the junglers are focused on different sides of the map. Sure, just trying to pick the different advantages ahead.
I really like the focus here from Zelmorn. You want to get Zabel ahead enough where he can always fight this matchup. If it's even, Ornn will take it. Kazuto is doing what he needs to do anyways, and bot lane's fairly even. Gledan got that kill onto the Aphelios, which is never a bad thing. But I think if you let Ornn get bullied out of this game, you'll have some problems. We up, but Twitch Prime is bugged. Jeff Bezos, you've thwarted us again. But here we see both junglers looking topside. Movie waiting in the tri-bush. Sejuani going for that top camp. We'll see if they're looking for this dive, which they might be. They did miss the Ornn Horn. So they have him jumping in. He's very low and will die to the Amumu burn. Now they're just trying to get away from the Sejuani. I do agree Amumu should walk away. If he jumps back in, he will die, but Sejuani picks up the Ornn. I think that's an okay trade, however. You don't want Worthy Dust to walk into a trap right after you cleanse. A nice block from Rise of Dusk. He's a real teammate. Now it's a 2v3 as they try to hold this mid lane. And then another cleanse coming out from Kuro as he gets stunned up by the Vigar baby cage. And Sejuani's here and looking for the engage. The Rise of Dusk ult on Aphelios takes down the Caitlyn. Actually hits the Sejuani as she jumps in and takes out the ADC. Feels bad there for Kuro. You were far enough away, you were safe, and then you die. Now Sejuani running in, trying to pick up this dragon as Rolling Stone is trying to pick it up. Takes out Aphelios with the Kassadin. The Yone picks up the Emilio as Sejuani falls to Vigar. Double kill for Kassadin, as now they're turning back to the dragon. Morgana here should be careful, but the Zabel Kazuto duo should be able to pick up this objective and tie the dragons 1-1.
Yeah, Kassadin just showing up and saying, "Okay, my kill, my kill."
Every once in a while, you just gotta hit that R button and say, "These are my kills." Ornn wins once he has Chain Bust. Ornn would win once he has Chain Bust, but Yone got a lot of help there, Mont Blanc. So yeah, Yone was definitely kept in this game by Zolborn. What rank is this? We have ranks across the spectrum. As far as this league, we do salaries. The cap is actually 4.75 mil, which doesn't mean anything, but basically you can have teams that average like mid to high gold / platinum. So yeah, like that. Sub me in, coach. If you want to join, you can check out our website. You can join the Discord. We'd be happy to have you. But yeah, basically as you join, we have a team that salaries you. The salary is basically just going off of your ranked games versus how you play, and then you can build a team based on the salary you have as a captain. Here we have Ornn fighting the Kassadin in the bot lane. Kassadin jumping away from the ultimate, jumping around, having plenty of mana, and will pick up that 4th kill onto himself. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Rolling Stoners are attempting to pressure out the other 4 members of Ultralords. Now, Zabel jumping in with the tether, gets a knockup but gets stunned. Now the Sejuani will come through, the Caitlyn picks up the Amumu as the Morg dies to Vigar. And now is a bunch of auto attacks back and forth as Kazuto continues to push the bot lane. Too much ping, I can alta. Yeah, you can play from anywhere really. We've had people play from Europe. Just obviously if you're in NA, you'll have better ping. So basically an NA East Coast based league. And now we have the Ultralord sitting at a 5.5k gold lead, looking huge on this Kassadin, 4-0-1, keeping their Yone in the game against the Ornn, and Zulmorn having a very effective game on this Sejuani.
Kassadin chasing down the horn again. The TP coming in.
Kassadin showing he can get out from the 2v1, now teleporting up to the Baron pit as there were 2 answering him in the bot lane, allowing the Yone, Sejuani, Caitlyn trio to burst out this Baron as he zones the enemy team. Here comes the Ornhorn as they're trying to re-engage this. We got the Amumu stun, ultimate taking down the Morgana. Sejuani picks up the Baron as the ults come through from the Rolling Stoners. They are picking up the... They're not. They're actually losing the fight very closely, but the Vigar falls to the Kassadin, and the rest of the team falls during the ensuing team fight. Sorry, I didn't follow it perfectly. It was very spread across the map. This game is mega fucked. Oh, they losing. My bad, XD. Deity, why are you so happy your team is losing? You're supposed to be impartial. What are you doing now? My bib. Meanwhile, the Ultralords are doing a big push, taking out the 3 towers in the mid lane. Let's both start crying if your team is losing. What is this? Well, you see, my team, because I'm also in the team on this league, doesn't have a captain who wants to show up, so I can't cry about anything really. But Cladan trying to save this game for his team, knowing the enemy team is going for the dragon, trying to run in for the fight, but they are not a 5-man, so they will back off. Gonna clear out this mid lane as the second dragon is picked up for the Ultralords. I don't forget anything the moment I say it. Mont Blanc, my friend. You did call it, Deity. You called the Smurf, he's doing the Smurf, he's 6-0-2. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Basically believing in himself to have the diff over the bonkers of mid lane. Or, sorry, the boost of mid lane.
I think he's just trying to stay ahead of Kuro and farm right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. As long as Kazuto's farming and like he's level 16 versus everyone else being level 14 or 13, so he's doing exactly what he needs to do. They had no. Yeah, well, they have lockdown in the Ornn and the Mumu. They're just not really team fighting effectively. And now we're jumping into a pause, not sure what's happening. I will try to see what's up for us. Oh, looks like we're back into it. Nothing too bad. Kid Buu was in this game secretly, he DC'd.
Poor guy, not even here. I heard he didn't even DC during his games today.
Kid Boo was yelling at me earlier. He deserves it. It's fine.
Fair.
If Kid Boo had gotten me on his team, he would have lost, and I think they won because they picked up a real sub champion in Monte Blanca. They respected the. Yeah, they did respect the DC. Imagine respecting the DC. Certain teams. Yo and Static Shiv, true. I mean, the way Riot nerfs Static Shiv, it doesn't do anything if you don't actually build AP, but you do build Static Shiv, so it's not a bad pick on AD champion still if you can use it effectively. But Rolling Stone is trying to protect their base. Ultra Lord's doing a good job doing a 4-1, taking out tier 2 towers as they go. Watching out for this Arnold, knocks up 2. Emilio's trying to jump in as to take out the Morgana. Amumu ults onto the backline with the Sejuani, but Zabel is up in the front line. Now they are trying to burn down the Sejuani, and they will take her out. Meanwhile, bot lane, Kazuto gets a kill and picks up a base tower. Ended up being a fairly even fight. They got 2 for 1, but they did lose the bot tower in the tier 3. And now Bonker's trying to get onto Kurokishi, but this Caitlyn with almost 3 items, able to just kite it out very easily. Now reset coming in from Caitlyn, Ornn back in. We will have to wait for, looks like, the Baron to be up for a team fight, or we'll see if Ultra Lords just try to keep up their 4-1 split push. Cass will just RWE and he's dead anyway. Yeah, Castleton is quite big this game, so a very tough time to be alive as an ADC, unless if your jungler CCs the Castleton so you can kill him.
I think a lot of our ADCs would say it's just a tough time anyway.
Well, they had a pause. I guess that's why the pause wasn't that long. It's because I already scooted back. I was like, there's no way I lag in this one when I already backed up the timer. I ate up my lag timing for pause timing. Now we see the Baron coming up in 15 seconds. Ultra Lord's looking to set up for this objective. Potentially want to have just a death push where they can kill someone, but happy to try and rush this as well. Looking like they're going to use Yone to continue split pushing the top lane. They've got 3 on the Baron and the Caitlyn mid. If they get jumped on here, it could be a bad death for the 3 on the Baron. But they are looking for Kuro in this mid lane. Just uses the dash and the flash. Will get knocked up by the Ornn. Hits by the Aphelios, and the kill comes through for the Aphelios. Meanwhile, Baron falls through Ultra Lords. So, a fair trade. Ornaments coming in. You are correct. Ornn needs to get 2 more levels to upgrade his full team. They are still 11k behind, so even with the ornaments, they'll still be fairly behind in these team fights. Meanwhile, Yawn. I'll take a little deep and die.
Miss all the shots you don't take.
Oh, they are taking out the Morgana here. They've got a 2v5 with the Sejuani and the Cassidy. Sejuani getting knocked up by Bonkers, and they will be able to walk away. They actually get all 3 inhibs, so despite losing a couple members in this fight, Rolling Stars now have to deal with double super minions in every wave. Go Rolling Stoners. I mean, the Rolling Stoners are undefeated up to this point, so they're trying to maintain their undefeated season. Snagmum. Snubug. 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 I got it. No objectives though, so free farming. Infinite farming potential. You're right. They've actually unlocked infinite farming, so as long as they hold for about 10 minutes, you're good to go. Vigar will mega fed. It's entirely possible. Vigar's ultimate does scale quite well. But looks like the Ultra Lords are looking for a 4-1 currently, sending at least Yone and Caitlyn mid as Cassidy goes bottom. They have a Sejuani and Morgana lagging behind a little bit. While the Vigar stacks. Where is he at? He has 197. Now we're pushing in 1-3-1 for the Ultra Lords, taking out that mid inhibitor once again to maintain the super minion pressure. A flash in from Golden Pharaoh going for the ultimate on Morgana will indeed use the Zonias, but will then fall as one of the Nexus towers is taken out. The Yone will ult into the backline and take his tether back. The Kassadin will take out the other Nexus tower, and that was just Baron minions versus the Nexus as Kurokishi falls to Rise at Dusk. Rise at Dusk will fall to Zul'Morin, and Kazuto is trying to take out bunkers and not doing enough damage, just ignoring the Vigar, but Sejuani will take him out. And Sejuani will take the triple onto the Ornn. Kassadin takes the Amumu, and the game will go to Ultra Lords, taking the first series away from Rolling Stoners. Kazuto is indeed your dad. Well played, Ultra Lords, to pick up the series against the undefeated team. I believe we now have only one undefeated team in the Goat Kings. So we're just going to have a bounty out on the Goat King side. Someone needs to take them down. That's it. Very well played in that mid lane. Kazuto, going that late game scaling, was able to have a fairly even team fight from the rest of his team and just scale up, be that monster. Well done by Zul'Morin to keep Zabel in at top lane, not let him fall behind just a full tank Ornn build. And Caitlyn keeping close in the damage to Aphelios, but the Caitlyn Morgana being more effective in the end than the Aphelios Milio. But thank you everyone for joining us. It's been fun casting these games. Got anything else to say, Blitzkrieg?
No, just a well fought game, and they made their adjustments after the game ones, game twos, and pull it all together in game three. Yeah, that's it for tonight.
That's all for tonight. If you would like more content, I'm actually off this week, so I will be looking to stream a lot of the VODs from the games tonight. So if you want to give us a follow, or if you're capable, you can give us a sub. We will stream a lot of League games this week, and you'll have all kinds of League of Legends action to check out.
And if you're new to the site and the group, all the past games are up there too.
That's right. We've got all the games in our VODs. We've got them up on our YouTube channel. So if you just want to see more games, we've got plenty of content to check out, and we would love to have you around. If you wanna join the league, reach out, and we will definitely get you in there. But thank you everyone for watching. We appreciate the support, and toss us those prime subs. We love them. And have a good night.